Hi, hello my friends. It's so very good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited to be sharing the Friendship Rose collection with you this morning. A new release from Heartfelt Creations. Absolutely stunning. You're going to be able to use it for so many different occasions and use it for so many different applications. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If we've not met before, my name is Tracy Fair. I am one of the online educators based out of Manitoba, Canada, and I'm super excited to be crafting with you this morning, afternoon, or of course evening, wherever you are in the world joining us from. So come on in, let's pop on over to the work surface, and we're going to take a peek at what we're going to be working on today. Today I really wanted to showcase the gorgeous, gorgeous dies that really are going to allow you to create a stunning card without even adding any florals. But I also wanted to show you how you could ramp it up by actually adding the classic rose. And it's a beautiful flower that's going to accent this collection perfectly. So I just wanted to show you a couple of different variations as we go along that you could make a more simpler mailable card, or of course you can add those beautiful Heartfelt Creations flowers that are sure to wow your friends and loved ones. Good morning, Lorna, my friend. It's so very wonderful to see you. I'm so glad you're able to join us this morning. So before we begin our project, let's take a look at what we're going to be working with today. The Friendship Rose Heart is the one that we're going to be using as our focal point today. You can see it's a beautiful size, quick and easy to color up. We're going to use our Zig markers again today, just for some quick and easy coloring, just so that you can gain some confidence in using those for your projects as well. Good morning, Janet, my friend. Oh, it's so good to see you. Janet, one of our super talented design team members, joining us this morning as well. Of course, you have the two different sizes of roses. We're going to be incorporating those into our design as well today. The coordinating dies make life so quick and easy for us to cut out these beautiful stamped images as well. The budding rose heart is another alternative to the one that we just looked at. So it's a little bit larger. It's got the budding roses rather than the full roses. And again, you have these two smaller rose buds as well. I opted to use those in our design as well today, just to show you how you could incorporate those as well. Hello, Nita, my friend, another design team member joining us this morning. It's so wonderful to have you. Tina, good morning. I'm so glad you're able to join us as well. So of course, again, you have that beautiful die that's going to cut that out for you. And as you can see, there are center pieces that can cut out the center here of our hearts, or you can leave it full to go ahead and actually stamp your sentiment in there as well. The friendship sentiments are fantastic. This is going to cover so many different holidays and seasons. Sending you a hug. You have a special place in my heart. So of course, you're one in a million. Those are ones that you're going to be able to use as encouragement, thinking of you, any occasion cards. Valentine's Day is included here as well. So that's coming up actually rather quickly, isn't it? I can't believe we're almost to mid-November already. And then of course we have our decorative heart. This is just absolutely stunning, and I really wanted to showcase this one today to show you how many different options you had with this. Again, a beautiful die cut. This measures basically a 5x7. You'll see here I've made a little bit of a larger card so you could showcase what it looks like on a 6x8, but I'll give you a view of what that would look like on a 5x7 as we're assembling that as well. All of the different decorative dies here that you're going to be able to mat these two together. There's an inner heart here that we're going to use to stamp our sentiment. And then there's the beautiful scripted love as well. So many wonderful, wonderful designs. Of course, we just have to take a look at this paper collection because it's gorgeous. Look at the colors, the beautiful peaches and pinks and burgundies, the lush greens, just they are gorgeous, aren't they? Really stunning. From polka dots to beautiful florals. Some of them look like those vintage wallpapers that we all love so much. Of course, we have some scrapbook paper here that you'd be able to do your scrapbooking on. Beautiful script. Again, the beautiful roses here. We've got the postcard script and stamped sign up there. And as all of our other paper collections have, you have your pre-printed images that are going to correspond with your dies that you're receiving in the collection as well. You can see these are both styles. So you have some great options there with the different size roses up here as well. And then, of course, as always, we have those coordinating tags that make life super quick and easy when we're wanting to add a tag to a card or to a gift bag. It's just beautiful. It really is just a really beautiful collection. So let's go ahead and grab our images here. We're going to do some quick coloring as well. Good morning, Lucille, my friend. It's good to see you. Clarabelle, you're able to join us this morning. Fantastic. Good morning, Kat from Lima, Peru. It's wonderful to have all of you with me this morning. So I'm going to just grab my Zig markers here. I have grabbed 3 different pinks. You'll see one is more of a light pink, one is more of a rose, and then we have a more kind of vibrant fuchsia. That's what we're going to use to color this morning. I'm going to see if I can pull you guys in a little bit closer so we can get a good look at what we're doing with our markers. Good morning, Shannon, my friend. It's good to see you as well. We're just going to color up this image real quick here, the heart. You'll have the same techniques to use on the larger flowers at the bottom of this page as well. But this is just going to give us a quick idea. I love my Zig markers. The brush tip makes this super quick and easy. I can color very quickly and easily and just kind of swoop over the image. They do such a beautiful job of coloring. So again, I've gone with the lightest color that I've chosen. If you wanted to do your roses a different color, all you're going to do is you're going to choose your lightest marker first. One more up here. Do we have all of our roses colored now? I think we do. Next, we're going to take our rose color, which is a little bit darker than the color we've been using. And I'm just going to go ahead and scribble some of that color onto this block here. Let's kind of shift this over so you can still catch what I'm doing. Going back to my lightest marker, because Zig markers are water-based, I can actually go ahead and mix these 2 colors and not worry about contamination. That's one of the reasons I love these markers. I don't have to worry about their cross-contaminating. So I'm just going to go ahead and swoop some of this color up just like that, and I'm going to move my block out of the way here now that you've seen that portion. And I'm going to go in and just start dropping color where I want it to be a little bit darker. There you can see it has darkened up that rose. The beautiful thing about Zig markers is as I'm dropping that darker color and I'm moving it around, I'm reverting back to the light color that the marker is. So you're not going to drop dark everywhere because it's coming off of the marker and you're going to go back to that light color as well. So again, I'm just going to drop wherever I want some dark. You can see it's quick and easy. Nothing to it. If I can do it, I am not a professional colorist by any means. I am amazed by some of the work that the design team members can do. I have not gotten my color training through Copic or anything, so I just really wanted to show you this really is this quick and easy. If I can do this, so can you. So I'm just dropping that dark color in wherever I want it. Just like that. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this brighter color marker. Again, I'm going to scribble it onto, you can see that one's quite vibrant there. But we're going with some quite vibrant roses today, so I didn't want these guys to pale in comparison. I wanted them to have that pop of color as well. But with working with a darker color, you definitely want to become a little bit more careful how you're applying it. So again, I'm still going in with that light tip original marker, but now I'm going to just go in and start applying it where I want some brilliance, some brightness. And you can see how it's going to kind of go ahead and make that pop in some areas. You can follow the lines. That's a great way of adding just that extra little pop of color. Follow the lines of the illustration. You can then work it in together. Because this marker is always going to revert back to the original light color, I can actually go back in here and keep pulling those colors around until I'm happy with it. Again, here we're just going to add and then kind of brush that into place. Do you guys enjoy coloring up your images? I always find it super relaxing. Is it something that relaxes you, or is it something that stresses you out to have to color up your images? Do you prefer using the daubers with the inks? I'm curious what you guys like to do. You can see those roses are becoming a little bit brighter in some areas. Again, it doesn't take a whole lot of time. Then later on, if you find it's a little too bright, you can go back in and dull it with that lighter color. And there, I hope you guys can see that. How that just comes together really, really quickly and easily. Next, we're going to grab two greens. I've got a light and a dark. And we're just going to go ahead and do this. Drop some of this light green color in. I like to think I'm adding the green there to those baby's breath images as well. Just the stem portion. Leanne, it stresses you out. You want to be a better colorist. Hey, me too, okay? Like one day when I have more time on my hands, I'll go for certification and everything. But I have to say, Zig markers have made it super quick and easy to still have a great looking project without having invested in all of that time in a colorist class, right? I have to say practice really is what's going to make perfect with any markers. I have a feeling, right? Practice is going to make perfect. Marilyn, you love to color and paint. Yeah, I find it actually quite relaxing as well. I like to color in front of the TV. Janet, you need to do more of it. Lorna, you like using the ink daubers, but you really like the watercolor with the zigs. Yes, watercoloring with the zigs is fantastic. I enjoy that too, doing a really nice soft watercolor with the zigs. Oh, and I should have mentioned here today, for this portion here, I am using a marker paper. I am using the Canson Bristol Smooth cardstock. I just find that gives me those really nice results that I'm looking for. Paper is going to make all the difference in the world when you're coloring as well. I just find this paper, the marker pushes the color around really nicely and makes it an easy job for me to blend. Now we're going to go drop some of this dark green. There, you can see I've added it there. I'm going to swipe that up with the light color green, just as we were doing in our other technique. I'm going to go around the centers here and just start dropping in some of that darker color wherever I want it. That's just going to give some more interest to our piece and kind of make it pop and bring it alive just by mixing those two colors. Again, super simple. by the time you have the card assembled, it is all melded together and working together beautifully. So there you can see we're done coloring. Super quick, super easy. It's going to be beautiful when we go ahead and start assembling that on the card. So of course what we would do next is we would die cut all of these. So I have used one of the heart stamped images. I've used 2 of each of the different size roses when we're going to assemble that later on. Let's see, I'll pull you guys back out so we can see what's going on. Jean, when doing more vivid colors, will it bleed over when using water to blend? Watercoloring, yes, you still do have to be careful. Anytime you're watercoloring, it has that potential to bleed over when you're using water to blend. What I like to do is, so many people like to use those water-filled pens. Do you know what I mean? They have like a brush tip and you fill them with water. They tend to over squeeze when you're using them. I like to use them and just dip them into a cup of water. That will keep it from bleeding out because you have much better control of the water. So that's my tip for you if you're wanting to use zig and water to do some watercoloring. Don't fill the pen. Actually stick the tip into some water in a cup and then watercolor from there. Okay, that way you have a lot more control. Okay, so then of course we would have die cut all of our pieces with our coordinating die, and this is what we would land up with. So here you can see we have all of the different roses. Aren't they so pretty? This is going to be perfect for Valentine's Day. These are perfect for sympathy, wedding. This collection is going to be beautiful for all of the different occasions that you're wanting to use it for. And here is our finished version of our die cut. We're just going to pop these over to the side for now, and we're going to talk about our card base and what we're going to do with that. Card base, I've gone ahead and done a really good start on it here for you already, so I'm just going to run through what I've done. This card base I've done is a 6x8 card base because I wanted something just a little bit bigger. It shows up on camera a little bit better this time. I've used the decorative paper. You'll see there's a layer of decorative paper there in the backdrop, that beautiful wallpaper style rose. I've used some black cardstock. You'll find that at www.heartfeltcreationsus.us as well. And then I've used this pretty green just to give this card a pop of color. There are so many beautiful, vibrant colors in this collection. I really wanted to pull that out this time. Then I have die cut the heart die, the decorative heart. I have die cut this portion in white and this portion in gold. And you'll see that I have offset them so that you're going to have that double layer and you're going to have that beautiful shimmer and shine from that Luxe Gold cardstock. You'll find that on the website as well. We will pop a link to that below for easy shopping for you as well. The options here are pretty much endless. I could have put this die into the center to cut out and have this large piece as a frame. I could have inlaid this portion and had an inlay in this as well, but for today's application I wanted to do some layering so I could really showcase all the different parts for you so you could see how they could come together in a layering situation. I do have some cards later on where I will show you that design team members have used this all in different configurations, okay? So next thing we're going to go ahead and do is, there's some black decorative paper in the paper collection as well. I've used the 2 dies to create this little frame. So I should show you what I've done here. When you put these 2 together, this is what you're going to come up with, okay? You could also do a solid version of this that you could mat behind this, but I wanted this just to be the simple decorative portion. So these two together create this, and it also gives you the heart center, which we'll talk about in just a little bit as well. I love the heart center for using as sentiments, using for your sentiments. So we're going to just add some Dry's Clear here, and we're going to glue this into place. Just like this. Next, we're going to work with our rose assembling here that we have already die cut and colored. I want to back that with some of the Luxe Gold cardstock as well, so that it's going to match what we've already done on the card base with the larger heart die cut. I want to continue that shimmer and shine through the design with that Luxe Gold cardstock. So here you're going to see I'm just going to offset it ever so slightly so that you can see we're getting that 2 layers, but we're getting that beautiful gold shimmer and shine. On the back here, I have some decorative foam tape. I want to pop this up, so we're going to have some dimension. And I should have mentioned, this large heart portion, I have popped that up off of the card base as well. I really wanted this card to have a little bit of dimension in the card base because we're not doing a whole lot in the way of flowers. So I'm placing this over top, and you'll still be able to see portions of the lace kind of popping through the designs and covering it up ever so slightly, but you're still getting that beautiful eyelet edging, and you're still seeing a portion of that lace-like cutouts there, even though we're covering up a bunch of it. For this decorative die, this large one, I actually went around and used these thin strips, these thin foam strips that we have on the website. They are fantastic for being able to kind of go around the shape and then fill in from the center. I find them a little bit easier to work with, especially when you're wanting to pop up areas like this at the bottom. You can cut them and have that support in there then as well. So they are fantastic for that. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to grab our die cut roses, and I'm going to make a cluster of one of each. So I'm going to separate these out here. So you're going to have 4 per cluster. I'm actually going to trim off. I don't need all of the stem for these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and trim off some, because what I want to do here now is I want to add some fullness here in my corners. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to start layering these up. And I'm just going to start filling out the corner here of this rose. Let's get this a little more here. Can you guys see that okay? Should I pull it in a little bit closer? Let's see if it'll work again. There, that might be a little bit better, hey? do some buds here as well. So that's going to fill out that corner quite nicely. Now, while I was thinking about this, I'm thinking I want to get the angle right. So I kind of envisioned Cupid's arrow going through the heart. You know what I mean? So we're going to kind of replicate the same thing going across on this side. Again, I'm going to snip these guys down. I don't need them to be so long. And then we're just going to try and recreate exactly what we did down this side. And this is the side that's going to have the roses. So a portion of this will be covered up, but I still want it to have some fullness here at the bottom as well. You can see just by layering these up, you're going to have beautiful rose bouquets you're going to be able to create. So there's so many different ways you can use these beautiful, beautiful florals. Let's kind of go behind here like this. Well, how about something like that? There we go. Next, we're going to talk about our sentiment. As I said, I have this heart shape that was left over. I've used my stamp. This stamp comes from the collection. I've used the Versacolor, the white ink, to go ahead and stamp the image. I've then used the embossing powder to emboss this saying, so it's going to have some shimmer and shine. It looks like it's enameled. So we've done this quite a bit in the last number of lives. So if that's a new concept to you, you can just peek back to some of the older lives on YouTube and you'll see that there are some samples of us doing that heat embossing as well. I'm going to pop this up in the center of our heart shape. The ones here on the edges, I just need a single layer of this foam tape. But because our center here is hollow, I did go with a double layer for the middle, just so it's going to be well supported there as well. So I just have stuck one on top of the other, and I'll just peel this last piece off. And we're just going to pop that into place. I'm going to try and watch the camera here so I'm getting it straight. So I'm not putting my head in the... Is that looking about right? I think that looks about right. There you go. So this card, you could actually have, you could say it's finished. If you were wanting to send a mailable card, you could say it is complete here. The 5x7, as I mentioned, this is a 6x8 card. 5x7 is the green panel. So you can see how if you wanted to do this version on a 5x7 mailable card, it would be very quick and easy to do as well. But of course, we all love our flowers, and what goes better with this than the classic rose? So if you would like to stay with me, I'm going to demonstrate the classic rose for you here as well. Let's take a peek at what we're going to be using. We have the classic rose stamp, die, and coordinating shaping mold. You're going to see here that there are actually 5 different sizes of petals here in this conglomeration, as well as a leaf for an accent piece. Today we're going to be using this one, this size here. We're going to omit the large, but I'm going to show you what they all look like in decreasing sizes, just so you know what you're getting. And then we're going to use this one here as well. This one I've opted to leave out, and of course we'll use our leaf accent. The coordinating dies. And then of course we have our shaping mold, which is going to make it super quick and easy to do multiple roses at a time. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp our images. I've gone ahead and done that in vibrant fuchsia. If you have followed me for a while, you know I normally don't do very vibrant colored florals, but today we're going to make an exception because I just love the vibrant colors in the Friendship Rose collection paired with the black. It's absolutely stunning. I'm going to color up these bottom ones here for you really quickly and easily. Same color that we've stamped it in, so that vibrant fuchsia. Just going ahead in circular motions and adding that color with my sponge daubers. There you can see, super fast, super quick, super easy. Moving along to our leaf, I've stamped that in the olive, which is a really nice dark green color. I'm going to color it up with leaf green, which is a little bit brighter, just for some contrast and some interest. And later on, we'll finish that off by going in and inking the edges with some of that dark olive, and you'll see how that will change the appearance as well. So again, super quick and easy. We would run this through our die cutting machine, and we would have these pieces. So I wanted to show you the different sizes of petals because you're able to make so many different sizes of roses just by mixing all of your different petals. So you're going to see here are the 5 different sizes, and here is your leaf. Lucille, the roses can be any color. Absolutely. Your mother loved peach roses. Oh, and peach goes perfectly. There are so many peach pages in this collection as well. I do believe there is a live coming up where someone is going to showcase some peach roses, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a lot of fun as well. So here you can see the different sizes. You're going to see these look a little bit different already than these, so I wanted to share with you a quick technique that I like to do when I'm creating a more vibrant flower. I like to go back in, same color, and just start adding to the tips of the petal pieces. That's really going to darken up this rose for us, and it's going to give you some very beautiful petals when you have your flowers assembled. So you can see how that now has changed up the look of that flower. Okay. Next thing I like to do with roses is I like to go into the back and do my color there as well, because when I'm creating rose buds or I'm flipping my petals over with a golf tool in either direction, I want to make sure that everything is colored. So that's what I go ahead and do to the back. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want some color on the back there so that they don't appear completely white. We're going to use that same technique with the olive color on the leaves. This is the color it's already been stamped in, and we're just going to darken up the outline and just give it a little bit more definition and interest as well. There you can see how that really brings that leaf to life as well. Next, of course, we would be shaping our roses. I've got my shaping mold right here. I already have some pre-shaped in here. You'll notice I've gone ahead with these and put them stamped side down. So we're just going to remove these guys real quick and pop them off to the side here for just a second. You can see these are going to just slide right into their coordinating size cavities. You can do up to 3 layers of these if you like. One thing I should mention is I have used the deluxe flower shaping paper. That's the paper I use for all of my flower shaping techniques, simply because it's been engineered specifically for this process. It's going to take that small amount of water that I'm going to spritz on here right now to break the fibers. And it's also going to hold up well for your hand shaping. It's going to keep your colors true, and it's just a phenomenal paper to get excellent results each and every time. So of course I would run this through my die cutting machine now. I use a Big Shot, so I would have a clear plate on the top, clear plate on the bottom. I would run that through my die cutting machine, and then of course I would have all of my lovely little pieces here that have already been pre-shaped. So what I've gone ahead and done is there are 3 of one size and 2 of another, okay? So I'm going to quickly grab the stamp set, and I'm going to show you exactly in case you want to recreate this one. I wanted a mid-size rose, so I'm going to use 3 of this size. So that's the one that's paired with the large one, so 3 of that size. Then I'm going to go down to this assortment, and I'm going to use these 2. So that's what I'm going to use to create my rose today. First thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to start with a rose center, a rose bud. I'm going to grab my shaping tool. I'm going to flip this over so that the stamp side is going down. And I'm going to bring these pieces up just by pressing them up through the center. And you're going to see how that's now going to form a little cup. So here we have this little cup. Now I'm going to be very brave here, and I'm going to go ahead and add some hot glue in just along some of the edges of this rose, because I really want it to adhere together. So you can see I'm just going to drop some hot glue in here and try and avoid my fingers. You can do this with the dry as clear as well. It's just going to take a little bit longer for everything to set. And now I'm just going to start working these in and around each other. So that you can see as they're going to start coming together, they're going to start shaping a rosebud. And you just keep playing with it until you're happy with what it's going to look like. Lucille, which rose set is this? This is the classic rose. This is the original classic rose. So as you can see here, see if I can bring it up, that's going to look like a little rose center, okay? Next thing I'm going to do is same petal size. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to start, oh, sorry, if we should be doing this from the back. I'm just going to start pulling these guys up, stamp side down. I'm pulling this up because we're going to build upon our rosebud center. So what I want to do here really quickly though is I want to give this one petal just a little bit of a backward twist by using my golf tool. So we're going to have just one petal that's doing its own thing. Okay. I'm going to drop some glue in the center and up each of the petals here. I'm going to pop this in here. And now we're going to start bringing this up and around. Okay. So again, classic rose is one that took me quite a bit of practice. Again, some of the design team make amazing roses. I'm trying to show you the most simple way I can explain it online so that you, if you're having trouble, you won't be discouraged. Flower shaping just takes practice and time. Every flower you create will be different and will be better than the one before, as long as you keep practicing. It's like anything in life, right? So here you can see we now have a nice little rosebud. This I would call finished if you wanted to make a rosebud, but we're going to keep building on here. Next, we're going to take this one stamp side up, and we're just going to do the same thing. We're just going to start pulling these guys into the center. And I think maybe here we will give this guy 2 petals that are doing its own thing. I'm just kind of flipping them backwards around over that golf tool. Again, hot glue in the center and up each petal piece about halfway. We're going to pop this into place, and I'm going to try and offset those petals. It's coming together. And we'll do another layer. Remember, this is the second layer of the larger piece. We're working with our stamped side up now. When we're doing the rose bud, the center, we want to remember stamped side down. Grab our hot glue, same technique, halfway up. We're going to try and offset our petals. And you'll find if you move it around, they nest into each other quite well. And one more layer. Oh, we've got some glue strings happening here. One more layer. Same thing, stamp side up. This one I'm not worried about cupping quite as much. This is going to be our final piece. We're just going to make sure we kind of offset. We're going to get stuck on my finger here. And there we have our rose. Okay. So I have a second one created here as well, exactly same size, same way. And I have a little bud exactly the way we created our first one in the center. Okay. I have a couple of pieces of greenery here. And now we'll be ready to add that to our card. There we go. We'll bring that back into the center. And so the one thing we want to make sure is we are not overcrowding our sentiment there. We still want to be able to read that, so I think that's probably going to look about right. I'm just going to add some glue in the center of the greenery there. Let's see, like this. Because I want those leaves to continue to pop up, right? We've shaped them, we want them to keep that dimension. And we don't want to hide. Let's try this way. I think that's better. That's going to be better. Just there like that. A nice bed of foliage for our flowers. So we're going to offset them ever so slightly. Sorry, I'm going to try and keep that in frame here. This one landed up being a little bit larger. As I said, you will never have the same flower twice, even though I've used the same petal pieces. One rose seems to be a little larger, a little tighter than the other maybe. We're going to pop that into place. And we'll do the same with the second one. So again, the Friendship Rose collection that we're using today is currently available in the I Want It All. That's a bundle that combines all of the collections. So the paper collection that we went through today, as well as the heart dies and the stamps. So again, if you're someone like me who wants to have the entire collection, the I Want It All is your best bang for your buck. It is currently available at a 10% savings until tomorrow night, which is Saturday, November the 12th at 11:59 p.m. or while supplies last. And of course, if you're an insider member, you are able to add your 20% savings to that as well. If you are not an insider member and you have not heard about the perks of our insider membership, it's something that you definitely want to take advantage of. We're going to pop that into a link below so that you can check that out. Again, 20% off of all of your purchases. There is free shipping for everyone in the US. If you're an international friend, we're going to give you 20% discount, which helps so much as well. Of course, you have access to all of our online classes, which retail at $29.99 per class. That's for the duration of your membership. And I wanted to share with you that there are so many fantastic classes, as particularly different ways to shape the classic rose. If you're picking up the classic rose today, make sure that you're an insider member and that you have access to that class as well. They're going to teach you several different ways to use this flower and to shape it as well. So again, make sure that you are taking advantage of that I Want It All bundle today, which is available until tomorrow night, which is Saturday, at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or of course while supplies last. So our bud here, I'm just going to go ahead and pop some hot glue onto here, and I'm going to tuck it in between these two, just so it looks like there's a third flower getting ready to bloom off to the side. Kind of put it on its side. And of course, we would never be finished unless we had added some sparkle and some shimmer and shine to our flower. So for today, we're going to use our Crystal Fine transparent glitter. Irene, yours is on the way. Oh, fantastic. I can't wait to see what you're going to make with it. Valerie, you're loving the card. I'm so happy to hear that as well. Marla, your collection is on the way. Oh, I can't wait to see what you're going to do either. Fantastic. So I'm going to use my Hydro Sponge here just with some Dry's Clear. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of smush it in there a little bit so it's in kind of in the sponge rather than just laying on top. I'm going to just dab onto my rose here, and then I'm going to sprinkle some glitter here over my flower, and there you'll see once that glue is going to dry clear, you're not going to have that white look under the glitter anymore. I'll show you the original here one last time so you can see what the final result looks like. You can see there that shimmer and shine is beautiful on those roses. Just so pretty, and it just really makes those roses pop and bring them to life. I do have a few other card samples here for you as well. This is by Maida. She's done a beautiful job here in the purple. Isn't that just stunning? So again, there's pinks and purples in this collection as well. She's used the classic rose here, same as I have, but she's done it on vellum with white heat embossing. So you can see that's a really beautiful soft look as well. She's gone ahead and used the same design that we used, the stamped image, but she's layered it up and done her sentiment on the inside. So remember I said you can create kind of a frame look just depending on how you use your die cut, whether you leave the center in or whether you die cut it. So here she's gone ahead and matted the back with that eyelet heart in pink and used the purple stamped image here and done her sentiment on the inside. Really, really beautiful as well. We have another one here by Rajni. Rajni's gone ahead and combined this with a super large card. This will be an 8x8. She's used some other decorative dies that you'll recognize. And here she has done some beautiful layering. So she's done like I did in the black. Here she's done the white with a beautiful pink in the background with that eyelet flower. And here she's layered that bud heart. This is the other one that we didn't use, but you can see, same idea. So very pretty, so very beautiful. It just has the rose buds rather than the full flowers. She's used some accent flowers here with some gorgeous other florals. That's so pretty. And one last one here, very similar idea to what I did today. They've done with the bud heart, with the stamped sentiment on the inside. A little bit different way of shaping the roses. This is one of the ways that I do believe it shows you in the video. A little bit different look. You can see lilacs here, the lilacs as decorative accent florals. Super pretty, just really super pretty. So I do hope you've enjoyed what I've shared with you today. Remember, if you are wanting the whole collection, the I Want It All is available only until tomorrow night, so be sure to pop that in your cart today. If you're not already an Inside member, I would encourage you to join that as well. You're going to love the savings and the perks that come with it. Thank you again for spending your morning with me. I can't wait to see you again soon. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.